In oneness we come, one family, one heart. Yes. Good evening, morning, afternoon, hearty greetings, beloved. We are live on the Nerika Healing Sacred Space. What a beautiful timings to be together, sharing from the space of the heart, merging in oneness, in the beautiful energy of creation. It's Aerolite here for the Nerika Healing with a new episode of In Oneness. And I love how when my guides speak through me, as I am sharing with my guest, my very, very special MiKe on the episode 9, I was just sharing with him my intention for In Oneness to keep it ongoing throughout the 2021. And it's the greatest opportunity for me now to extend my invitation to all of you beautiful ones to come on board and share your magnificent human experience. Yes, we are magnificent beings living a magnificent human experience, and it is so uniquely to each one of us. With every episode, we bring into this space, the sacred space, one of those experiences to realize together, to remember together, to come together to that space of oneness. I am so honored to be here with you, so blessed to share this space with you. And we are live on the Nerika Healing by Aerolite page, Facebook page. We are live at the Facebook page. I'm sorry, the YouTube page as well. And before I bring MiKe in to share his 255 astral traveling journeys with us and all about the astral travel and how it can be of a great, great advantage in our spiritual journey to seek answers, to remember more, to dive deeper into this quantum intelligence and connect beyond time and space. Before I bring MiKe in, I would love you all to share love and light by sharing this incredible episode and the Nerika Healing programmings. Start a watch party, share it with friends, and feel free to join us and ask all your questions. And I will start off with the video introduction. And this is where the share button is. Share screen. And the share button is here. And I will share with you this video introduction. And you don't I share upon me, upon you, our beloved Gaia, our mother, and you dawn upon me, so are we. And you dawn upon me, upon you, our beloved Gaia, our mother Earth is ascending, and so are we. Brother Sun, Sister Moon, hold my hand, and together we lead our multidimensionality, we realize, and we rejoice. We are sovereign whole again, and you dawn upon me, upon you. In oneness, you and I, we gather. Brother Sun, Sister Moon, in the circle of light, meet with me to remember ourselves, one heart, family, one light, one humanity, one earth. In oneness, we remember, I am all is I. In oneness, the God in me honor the God in you. In oneness, we expand Beyond the multiverse, our star cells we meet, and we remember the origin, the light, the source. In oneness once more with ourselves and the bridge we crossed. In oneness, we become the remembrance, we become the Akash. We just be in oneness. We become the remembrance as we come together in the sacred space and sharing from the heart. And we become the Akash, and this is what MiKe is here to share with us, all about the Akash and that space beyond time and space where all exists. I will welcome you, brother, into the space. Please unmute yourself when you're ready. Welcome, MiKe. Welcome, MiKe Wu.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me. I'm really happy and glad to be here. So how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic.
Good to see you. You look so great.
I am looking like I've been trying to find the word for how I'm looking and I'm feeling, and it's basically the word stillness. So since we moved into the new shift, I've been into this state of calmness and stillness and yeah. And then yesterday I had this analogy as I was thinking of my state of being. See, when you see an archer with their arrow and bow and arrow, and they just stretch the arrow as far as they can, then aim before they release it. I'm in that phase. I'm like, I have fully reached that phase before I charge again into a new venture, into a new project, maybe a new dimension. So I feel I'm in that resting phase before the release of the arrow. And wow. It feels so fantastic. It feels so fantastic. And I know the guidance is there to take us to where we needed to be. How about you, brother?
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey since the start of the year. Of course, 250 days of astral traveling. So I got this message that I first started for 111 days. It was just until my birthday, then until Christmas. And then I received a message, do it for 365 days and create like a book of it. And since then, it's going more in detail, more, lightnings up, awakenings, and more people tapping in to this possibility, to this potential. Yeah, it's been an amazing journey. So all is good. Everything is happening for a reason and happening in the right flow, in the right space. And it's clearing up a lot of stuff personally, business-wise, family-wise. So yeah, doing very well.
And mostly spiritually.
And mostly spiritually, but that's like overall. That's overall.
And mostly spiritually. And it's very good because you said it in compartments, because we all are multidimensional. We exist in all these realities simultaneously, and they're all make who we are. We cannot deny one and just give more energy to another. They're all happenings. I would love you to introduce yourself a little bit to us, a little bit about your background, and what is astral traveling, and how did you come to be an astral traveler? Now we know you have the big picture for 365 days, put everything compiled in a book. That's wonderful. How did it all start?
Yeah, so I'm MiKe Wu, living in Belgium, Asian roots, Chinese origin. I'm a proud dad of two beautiful children, Lisa and Leon. They are now 13 and 11 years. And professionally, I'm an independent business owner, doing mainly consultancy work, marketing, business, and sales. I'm also a day trader. So yesterday I also talked to someone because there's a special combination, making money on the financial markets, and on the other hand, being, all the time within the spiritual world, especially with astral traveling. So how did this journey actually started? So it's been going on, looking back, since I was a little boy. Always had this fascination of the stars, the galaxy, and more than the eye can see. And growing up without a dad, I had a best friend, and he was like a guiding star to me, always comforting me, supporting me, encouraging me to become everything that I could become. And he taught me a lot of wisdom. And when he passed away, like almost 10 years ago, I was in a training course as a certified coach. I'm a PCC certified and a neuro linguistics programming master. During that training, we were like aligning the chakras, doing meditation, and that was my first out of body experience. And when I had that, I I first immediately reacted like, okay, what is going on? I saw myself there in the room, and I was out of my body. And at first, normal people shake or are scared and flow back. I was like really relaxed and really zen and like, oh, this is cool. I ran around the room and checking everything and energy wise. This is how it started. And a lot of things happened in my personal life, professional life. So the spiritual awakening was rooted there, seated there, but it really took off like 4.5 years ago. When I met actually, my dear sister or dear sister friend, Bridget, Violet Flame, if you know her, from a heart opening
Yes,
meditation.
of course.
And through that moment onwards, when we connected, how we got connected, little by little, and it accelerated the last 2 years from my side, from her side, and it has brought us where we are today. And before the lockdown, the global pandemic stroke, we were like talking, we were doing a lot of meditations every day. And a certain moment of time, there was like Astral Traveling course. She was doing it without any, um, she did manage to see things, but she didn't really move out of her body. And she said, hey, why do you not try and do it? Because you had this experience before. And I did it. And after the second try, it was like, boom, directly. Went into the astral at first, and in the third session, I discovered the Akashic records. So it was really mind blowing. And ever since, I've been doing it. So since 255 days, and it's been an amazing journey coming from personal sides, helping other people finding information, but also general serving a larger cause for humanity. So quite exciting.
Great. I probably got what's Akashic record. I got what's astral. But for the viewers out there,
of course.
let's give them a concrete knowledge, something they can grasp, some information. What do you mean by the astral plane? We know we live here. We have a body. We live on this earth. We start realizing we're also living also as souls in this experience. But also there are so many things that we don't know.
Yes. So first of all, if you believe or do not believe, we have a 3D body like here, flesh and blood, our heart is ticking, but we also have our energetic body. And you can easily distinguish this. You might have experienced this before when you're in a trance, in a party, or maybe doing sports or whatever. You're like, your physical body is here, but your spirit is somewhere else. So you are capable of getting out of your physical body. This is basically what astral traveling is, getting an out-of-body experience. And then you have the 3D reality. The 3D reality, everything we see, experience, we smell, we sense, we touch, is like our homes, our community, our world, That's the 3D reality. But besides that, there's something beyond our reality. You can call it 5D, 7D, whatever you want, but it's beyond our rational human brains to capture. It's like in our unconsciousness, it's stamped in our DNA because we're all star seeds. And that's like a door opening towards a whole new world. And how does it look like? Everything is frequency, everything is vibration. It's like this book where I make my notes, aim for the stars. We see this as physical books, but actually it's vibrating at a certain frequency. So if you would burn it or you put it in another form, energy is reacting, the dog is reacting to the energy. So in the astral realms, astral planes, you can actually access. How I see it, it's like the matrix with all codes and bits and bytes, but because we have this human experience, we can form this into some logical, rational resemblance that we know. But it's all energy, so you don't always see the clear and sharp things, but through the different layers, it's like a rainbow with all the rainbow colors, but unlimited little differences on there. So in every layer, you can access them, and you can meet up with mythical beings like unicorns and dragons and whatever you have. You can meet up archangels, you can meet up ascended master, people passed on, other light beings from other star galaxies, etc., etc. And there's one place that you can enter. How I call it always like the gathering place, where all the astral travelers, light beings, all come together. And in the middle, today I had another session, and someone else also visited the Akashic Records via the astral, confirmed it. You have this like a huge stair in the middle, white stair with like 10,000 steps or even more. You can run on it, you can walk on it like physically, or you just can beam up like it, like in Star Trek. And in there, you have the access to the Akashic Records. What is the Akashic Records? In the astral, it's like a space, oval space, like truly blank and white. You don't see like a ceiling or a floor, whatever. But as you are in your astral body, your energy body, you tap in, and the energy body, your own energy body, is the highest technological piece, state of art, because it recognizes your energy and gets connected. And when you have questions or intentions, it will already be read. And if you want to imagine it physically, the Akashic Records, I saw it in different forms, because in the astral, you don't have time, you don't have space, you don't have any limitations. So when I do astral traveling, it's like 1 hour and a half in the 3D world. But in the astral planes, in astral reality, it can take up hours, days, weeks, and even months or years. So can you imagine how powerful that is? And the Akashic Records is this library where you can tap into all your thoughts, memories, all there is now and forever for humanity, for the galaxy, whatever you name it, it's all there. In different books, in different USB sticks or servers, what you like. And with the right intention, you can tap into those information and share it back. So that's what astral traveling, astral planes, and Akashic Record is.
It's so fascinating, I'll tell you. The you know, like our human mind sometime with all its limitation, it tried to prevent us from really believing of this astral realm where you said you'll meet all the unicorn and the dragons and the angels and your loved ones. This is just tiny limitations we just put upon ourselves, but we astral travel every night.
True.
And we call what we recollect dreams. It's very simple. It just what we recollect, we call it dreams. And sometimes we wake up like thinking of a familiarity to a place or to a person. Someone comes in our thoughts. It's just because we visit the astral travel when we go to sleep, but we don't remember because we are not visiting consciously with intentions.
True. And we're
And
not
that's what
taught.
astral traveling. Yeah.
And we're
With
not
our
taught
thoughts.
to do that. Yeah.
Exactly, we are not, because again the veil was very thick and it was limiting us from seeing beyond what the eye can perceive. It's a place to consider as a great gift for us now, as we are awakening to the potentiality of our own magnificence, that we do exist here and we're existing there. We're existing at multi-dimension and multi-realities, and we're living them all these parallel realities at once.
True.
It's very interesting. Yeah. You know, you mentioned how you've correlated the beaming, like Star Trek and all the Matrix, whatever we've seen as the science fiction movies. They are not just science fiction. They have been you know, little by little encoding to us, our consciousness, what's beyond this 3D reality that we see, that we sense. And they are also based on some truth somehow.
True, absolutely. Because everything that we see, that
Yeah.
we imagine, comes somewhere from a certain download someone has ever seen, And this is exactly what creativity and the divine, you know, means also to me. Yeah, surely.
So basically, to go into the astral travel consciously, do you have a set of practices that you do, a set of let's say rituals that you do, some music that you listen to? How do you approach it?
Yeah.
And what did work for you?
So first of all, a lot of meditation to be fully aware, open your heart, your mind, and your spirit. So align yourself with your 7 chakras, to connect yourself, to ground yourself, but also open up to the galaxy and to the multiverse. And what really helps is to be consciously present. So when you want to astral travel, it's really important to feel all the energies from everywhere inside your body, not to be distracted by the human emotions, and to be neutral as an observer. And then finally, what really helps is practice a breath work. So certain breath techniques will really help and allow you to get into this trance, to sleep in your body, and in that sense allowing you consciously to leave your body, to do the astral traveling. So that's actually the different steps that you can take. And depending on your preference, I prefer in the morning because you already slept during the night, because some people, they are trying to practice, but then they fall asleep. And that's a pity, because if you fall asleep, you cannot experience to the fullest in conscious mind. So your body is asleep. That's the thing that you need to do. And when your body is in sleep, you can fully, with your consciousness, be awake. And that's the magical part. Because when you're fully consciously awake, you can access to unlimited places and information that you can only dream of, but it's there for us to grasp.
So basically, what I'm trying to understand, like, did you do your breath work? You sit for meditation and you set intentions for a particular topics or a particular emotion or a particular question. For some people, you said now you are helping people. People are more and more tapping into the astral traveling, because in that matter you're able to find answers in the Akashic records for them or in the astral realm. And the answers that comes to you, do they come in the form of visual or verbal or scenes or notions? How do you perceive your answers?
Excellent question. So you have different preferences. And my preference is visual. I'm really strong visual, and auditive. So I also hear and explain, but you're not talking in the astral, you're connecting with your energy body. So it's like telepathically you receive the answer. So it's really funny. It's like you're feeling that you're talking, but it's telepathically that you're connected and you receive and download all this information. And then visually, at first you only see energy beams and reality, but more and more, because you have this experience, you can see and tap into more details. So to give you an idea, what people ask is tap into past lives, because people experience some blockages, things that holding them back in current lives. And at first you also think like, can this be? Is this reality? But I've done now a dozen of them. And so many times the aha moments and the elements that people have, I recorded it in my podcast and also on my IG stories, is that I don't know those people. I just have an intake and I just, ask what they want, and that's it. And then I give back what I saw in their previous lives and experiences, whatever. And then they make this connection with what's happening in their current life. So that's really mind-blowing. Another example is people who want to do more work on sacred sites. I did some work for the guy who actually found the Bosnian pyramids. He wanted to know, because they are like uncovering the different pyramids and the different tunnels below and stuff, to go there via astral traveling and to uncover more of the history. I did a collaboration with a lightworker on crystals. So he makes crystal grids. That was end of last year, for cleaning up certain parts of the European Commission in Brussels, in the heart of Europe. So I actually also find out more of this energy beams all around and why it's causing this harm and how we can clear this environment. Another one that I like is also to yeah, find more answers about, ascended masters or archangels or spiritual guides and those things, to really help people looking back and connect in their current life and how they can benefit from that.
Exactly. Or simply, you can give a past life regression a session, and you can go into the trance yourself and experience for yourself and experience the vastness of the consciousness and what your subconscious mind is holding. I'm actually relating so much to what you say, because I myself practice past life regression practitioner, and I practice a lot. I have sessions on my own, and I've had them quite a lot, and it is the same description as you say, with going into the stairs or beam of reaching a space, and you feeling the little beams of light, and then you connect them. I am visual as well, and I love how I perceive it telepathically, and it comes in, and then it feels so real. It feels so real that you really don't want to wake up here. You just want to be back
Yes.
here and there.
You just want to stay there, but unfortunately, we're in a 3D reality, right? People sometimes ask me, do you need to go to the restroom? Do you need to eat? Do you need to sleep? Because sometimes I visit for a very long period of time. I say, no, that's the magic of it, because there is no time, no space, and you're there with your energetic body. So you can do anything without any limitations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is fascinating. Everybody, like each one of us is carrying a piece of this puzzle. You unravel the astral traveling, and it is the same almost procedure to go into that space that's beyond time and space, and to the quantum. Some others are doing it through the heart opening practice. Some others are doing it through the shamanic practices. It is so fascinating. The destination is one, and the aim is one.
Exactly. We all have the same destination and the same purpose, and that's the fun part of it, that we can collaborate and exchange ideas, how to maximize this. And I always call it like the superpowers, right? We're like superheroes of the Marvel team, and we all have our unique talents and gifts, and how to combine them and to serve the greater good.
And that's what I asked you earlier. Let's brainstorm some great collaboration for 2021, as everybody bring in their beautiful self, their light, their expertise now, so we can put kind of a very intensive program for to uplift ourselves and all who come in our circle. It'll be so fascinating, actually.
Will do. And I think it's already happening as more and more people are feeling, especially during the pandemic, their inner strength growing. And they are like saying more like, there must be more than this in life. They have now the time and space. And now with the Aquarius time is coming and the shift that's gone, I really feel that this is like the humanity 2.0. And astral traveling is just one of the elements of that.
Humanity 2.0. I totally like that title.
Yes.
And you can dive more into the Akashic record, into the astral for us as a collective, and let's see what we can put together. Let's set this intention today in the sacred space to create a Humanity 2.0 project that
I already share
so
with
many
you.
light.
I can share with you what I saw towards the near future is that the economic model that we have as today, it's really ready to shift. So it means that wealth is irregular spread. So the wealthy became like $1,500 trillion richer during the past 12 months. Just look at your own situation. So 85% of the people around the globe just stabilized or even digressed. So there's something that's not correct. Secondly, the means that we're using from Mother Earth, it's killing our environment. Mother Earth will survive, but we as species are killing ourselves if we don't change that. So the footprint is so huge. And what I saw in the astral towards future events is that consciousness is growing, that we need a model of think globally, like we're connected now from India to Europe, and I had a call with Bulgaria and with someone in Hong Kong through technology. That's great. but the usage of the natural resources, we need to take them locally. And there's a thinking that's already started. It's like localization, like having your own little garden for your community, your own little power plant for your community, living together. So you take care of each other's dogs and children. You hand out clothing and food if you have too much. All this waste, all those luxury stuff, we can be more efficient when we combine our talents and gifts, not only as light workers, but as a species as a whole. And the new generation, they are awakened. So our children and our grandchildren, they are already there, but they don't have the power to decide at the moment. So their only influence is to change their parents. And when they vote, what you have seen in the States, it's a shift that's going on. And this will be the savior of humanity. But there's one condition. And this condition is, and that's our work and your work, Era, that we need to touch upon with this message and to waking up the people who are open to it. And that's why I'm saying there's so many openings going on. You can feel it. And
exactly. And it is at all dimension and levels. We cannot say I cannot and I am not ready. Within us today, I was watching a YouTube video about the doctor Simon. I'll check her name. She's the one who was talking about the truth behind the COVID-19, and she's a doctor leading a group of doctors into revealing the truth. And she said one line: "Humanity recognizes truth."
Yes.
Doesn't matter how ignorant we are and how unaware we are, and whether we're awakened or not, whether we're on a spiritual journey or not, the truth reveals itself.
Exactly.
And more of this is happening globally. And there's no better timings than being now on earth in this moment for humanity's evolution and witness it full hand on the personal level, on the collective. And we see the shift that's happening within Gaia. 2020 locked us in, but also made a huge shift around us. We can see it in nature thriving, the oceans thriving, the air is cleaner, the whole shift, biologically is changing, or geologically, I don't know, weather-wise, everything is shifted and it's changing, because we are, and we have recognized there is a truth beyond the 3D reality that we're living, and it start happening. It's massive.
Exactly. The awakening.
It always gets me so excited. It always gets me there into that space of exuberant excitement to see it unfolding.
Yeah. And if you talk about that, it's always good to have, what we have is a lot of additional luxury, and we just don't realize that. But now with the whole situation going on in the world, the real luxury is just the connection between human to human, to give a hug or a kiss, or just, to be with each other. And all the rest is additional. All the restaurants are closed, even travel, a lot of travel bans and all those things, events, even sports. So all those things are actually distractions to the core of who we are, and that's just pure love. And to the topic of astral traveling, if everyone can do it. That's also a question. Can I do it? I don't have the talent, whatever. We just forgot how to do it. And when you realize that everyone can do it, who needs to travel by plane? Of course, you can do it from time to time, but you can visit any place, whatever you like, throughout the world. I did an experience when our dear friend Bridget was in the Maldives. She challenged me, come over here via astral body. And what she did, she was doing her meditation on the beach, and she draw something around her. She wrote something in the sand and everything, and she asked me to describe where she was and how. And it was truly amazing. And she felt my presence in front of her. So she drew like 2 hearts on the beach, one around her and one on the beach. And then she hashtagged me like Astro Ruber, I love you. So yeah, it is possible, but you need
That
to.
was fascinating. I saw that I saw that post, but I didn't know the story behind it. Now
That's the
it
one.
makes more sense.
Yeah, that's the one. So that's why I encourage, and I, created also a course, and I'm testing it out to stimulate people who are open to it, just to experience it, because it's new, and when something is new, people are a little bit like, hmm. But if you
I'm
are
ready.
open to it, just
I'm ready.
you
I'm
just go
ready.
for it.
See, yeah, today I had a friend visited over in the afternoon, and we were just talking. The one line he said to me, when the student is ready, the teacher shows up. And
Wow.
there you go. A perfect timing.
Super.
So guys, give it a try. Give yourself this boost, this leap, this shift within your perspective of who you are, how you perceive life, how you perceive yourself, even in your spiritual dimension. You can find Mike on his YouTube also. I'm sorry, did I say YouTube? On Instagram?
Yeah.
Are you on YouTube also?
I have a YouTube channel, but it's dedicated to financial literacy.
You also can find Mike there, because he can also assist you to grow financially as well.
So that's maybe an interesting topic that I often get as question. Yesterday I was in Antwerp when I was meeting someone, also someone who has spiritually awakened, and she was, not only one of the first, but she was also very interested in the whole cryptocurrency and the financial system and the fiat currency. And she was asking me all those questions. Well, we talked first about, awakening and astral traveling and all those stuff. So the interesting part is that both worlds are linked together. And even more, one of the most of the greatest traders in the world, also my all-time heroes, they are always having a spiritual practice and are fully aligned and connected. Because if you want to be successful in the financial world, the first thing you need to do is become detached to the value and to the meaning of money. Because money is just a frequency, it's just like a piece of paper, it's just like a perception. Because someone someday has decided that we pay with money and we add a value to the piece of paper, right? If you just burn this piece of paper, it's worth nothing. So that's the first step. And when you are aligned with yourself and fully, connected from heart, body, and soul to all there is, you can make better decisions. You can become a better partner, you can become a better friend, but also a better trader and a better decision taker on business-wise and all those places. So that's why a lot of famous people, actors, singers, even CEOs, business-wise, they are more and more open to be awakened and to touch upon their spiritual potential. And that's why I truly believe that it's a story that connects one to another. And as light worker, I often hear it's not always easy to earn money or whatever, but sometimes we think too much and too complex, because life is really simple. If you keep things simple down to the basic essence, you can see clearly. And it's only hard when you make things hard. And the same counts for, yeah.
Exactly. It gets harder when we really complicated it through our mindsets and our limited beliefs.
True.
And we were just discussing the money energy frequency just before we started, how it is so important to realize that it is an energy, and it takes the power of the intention that I plant in it. I was sharing with you, I just recently kind of shifted into the digital world, which is a great leap for me. And this one friend was like kind of surprised, and she was like, Era, you're always from the heart. How are you going to manage the mind stuff and all these logical, analytical things? I said, I have made the trip from the mind to the heart. Now I'm centered. Now I set the new intentions for my life. I set a new intention to creating abundance. And as you said, we were just using money as a tool to it might change in the long term, nobody knows. It's the concept that I live in infinite abundance, and whatever energy that I need to work with, whether money, whether coins, whether, I don't know, it could be something digital money, but it is the concept behind it, and it is the mindset behind it. and how you shift your mind beyond the limitation that keeps us in the lack. And lack had surfaced a lot in 2020, and it's still lingering a little bit in the collective consciousness as it is shifting. And people correlated this whole pandemic to loss and financial loss and loss of jobs and this and that, but also great realization are coming from that loss of the luxuries that we don't no longer need.
True. And the biggest luxury, if you see how many people are getting depressed, and especially the younger people, they're saying like, whoa, we are like prison, at least in Europe. I don't know in the rest of the world, but they did a survey, is that the young adolescents between 18 and like 26, they feel really lonely in a sense, because they are just starting out their lives. They cannot go to parties or to festivals and connect with their community, even go to school at universities. So they only see each other during exams. But if we can teach them that, first of all, we are all connected, so you can never be lonely because you are enough. But secondly, that you can connect through the energy, to the energy body. So it's like someone who passed away, you loved and care about. Physically, that person is gone, but energetically, this person is always there. It can even be like a baby. I just talked to someone who had a personal thing, that the baby got lost when in early stage, but this person still feels the energy and still feels the presence of this soul. And that's the whole thing, is when we tap into the unlimited source that we are in the divine of us, we can be so much more in balance and in presence. So we don't be, how do you call that, anxious or fear, and be more a neutral observer of all the emotions that comes along with it.
It's fascinating. That brings me to the point that the belief that we're only existing here, it's very limiting. There is one dimension of you that's still there in that dimension of the soul realm, and that and the source presence, that it is connected to this, it is linked to your presence here. You don't fully come into this 3D reality. You are in multidimensional existences, and there is a partial of you, a fractal of us. It is still there. It is your blueprint. That's what we call the blueprint of this soul that carries all the essence. And I believe whichever practice we embark on, whether the astral, whether deep meditation, whatever practice you do, it's always to connect to that blueprint.
True.
And then merge with all this knowing and become this inner knowing.
Yes, fully correct.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I would like you to share with us some kind of interesting stories about meeting with other astral travelers, and how do you recognize them?
That's an interesting one. So today I had a joint session just before this call, and that was really special because I'm always inviting others. Because our daughter Lisa, also managed to do 2 times astral traveling. So my dream is to do this together with her. But today I had a session with a lady. She was living in somewhere else in Europe, and we actually prepared like 4 questions to do and to find in Akashic records. And we also meet up there. And the funny thing is that we saw each other, but recognizing through the energy body. And she saw me like this energy flame. And then every time I access the record, it's like this lightning beam, like how do you call it? Like this electricity, like zzz, like going everywhere. Yeah. So really funny how she describes it. And in my case, I really saw her in a full being. And when she was there accessing and downloading, in her full colors of golden, white diamond light. And it was also like a flame, but I recognized her soft and powerful energy. So every time it becomes clearer and more bright. And when you encounter other beings or people in the Akashic or in the astral, you just connect with your energy body. So it's like, I can put it like this, it's like you're making love, but not making love, of course, but your energy bodies are colliding. and then it's like getting a small atomic explosion of joy and happiness and light. So you feel like you're like in one, and that's something that's in experience, yeah, indescribable. And you talk and connect through telepathically. So you really like feeling each other. You know that feeling when you're like deeply in love. You know, most of the time it happens the first months of your relationship, something like that, and you just look at each other and then you get touched. It's like that without saying anything, but then 100 times more intense. So this is how it feels and how it is in the astral.
Mm. It is it's fascinating, actually. It's so fascinating. Yes. So a couple days ago, you shared about the dragon, and at that same night, I was just telling you that I love the synchronicity. Just that same night, I had an exuberant time being in the dragon realm and surrounded by those magnificent creatures and their wisdom.
Mhm.
And yeah, and the very next day, you just posted it about being in the astral and being with the dragon. And now I'm relating that, okay, I went during my dream time into that space. I had a little recollection because it's a dream, and I
Uh-huh.
knew that my consciousness has already grasped all that was given to me. But I think the advantage of astral traveling, that you come out of the meditation, you already have the answers, because in the dream state we tend to just slip back into the awaken, and then in that moment of awakening again or waking up, it's just that when things are lost, information
Yeah,
are lost, or
true.
yeah. So this is when I find the astral traveling, it's going to be more beneficial really for the ones who are seeking um, expansion in their consciousness. But beautiful. There are a couple of questions in the chat that I'd like to share with you from Hiba, and she's saying, "Can someone go to the astral plane without deep meditation?"
Yeah, if you're experienced. I know some, I encountered some people. I'm also trying to work on that. So in bilocation is why you're physically here. You can actually travel with your spirit to another place. I met 3 or 4 people of them, and I think it's like practice. You know, when you are getting a master in it, you can certainly do that. But as you are starting and beginning, it's important to, it's like a marathon. It's training yourself. Some people can do it quite quickly after some months. Some people take years of it. At the end, it's not about the journey, but it's about how you reach your destiny. So I think that's the most important thing that we need to encounter. So yes, it is possible.
It is possible. In the beginning, it requires breath work, meditation, a consistent practice, being with the intention, know that you are in the service, in divine service, and it is in the highest good. It's just now we're realizing the importance of all these gifts that we're having to connect it to the highest good of all, as we are the whole, we are the one in oneness.
True.
Yeah, it's so interesting. There is another question.
Okay.
Does the meditation have to be guided to do astral traveling? On how long does it take for a beginner to do so?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Does the meditation have to be guided to do astral traveling? And how long does it take for a beginner to do so?
Ah, I think it's important that you are guided. If you're not experienced with meditation practice, you can, of course, do some self training and self meditation. That's always possible. But in guided, you can go faster if you want to, because those are experienced people. And it depends. Some people are gifted and talented, like Lisa, our daughter. She managed to do it. And also someone else that I just met through the heart opening meditations. So it depends. You need to discover for yourself. But in general, as I said, everyone can do it. So the first step is to believe that I can do it. That's actually the hardest work, to believe in it's real, it's realistic, it's there. There's so many recordings, so many examples. Even on Netflix, they made like a documentary on that. So that's the first step. And when you are open to that, when your mind, your heart is open to that, you can start in doing the training work, and doing the breath work, and doing the meditations. And if you're totally new, I would recommend to do it guided with someone. And then I always foresee like 3 months, like a 12 steps, like 12 weeks, like a little, like 3 months, 90 days, to get you on track to do it. So that's a little bit of an indication.
And yes, you can find she's asking how to connect with you. He's on Instagram, and he's also on his Facebook page.
Yeah. And on my
yes.
podcast. Yeah. Astral Uber, MiKe Wu. Just you see my name on the screen. WU MiKe, yeah.
Yes, MiKe, I will definitely share your link with her. And it is so fascinating how we are all in that stage of exploration, and this exploration is bringing deep remembrance. What was the moment, like there was like a big aha moment for you, like something that you've discovered, something that you weren't sure about, and then it came forth?
Oh, I had so many aha moments. One of the most beautiful and that I received was like, how does a soul enters in the human body and how does it work? This is one of the most beautiful because it relates to all of us. So first of all, our soul comes from like this huge source. It's like a spiral galaxy, like with this golden diamond light going on with all these little sparkles representing all the souls. And when there is conception in the 3D world between man and woman or on another way, it's like the soul gets this sign or signal like, hey, there is somewhere, someplace you can go to be conceived. And when this soul then comes there and you have this semen and the egg cell of man and woman coming together and forming like this first cells, the embryo of this basic fundamental elements of becoming a human being, the soul is already there. And it's really magnificent to see because I was there the whole 9 months of the pregnancy in the womb to see the soul in action. It's like a guiding star, guardian star to protect this future human being because it transforms from just 2 separate cells to 1 cell and then dividing. And in a certain moment of stage, the heart gets activated. You get like an electric shock. So the first heartbeat, and then the brain is formed. So when the brain is formed, you see the soul really entering. So at first it's like protecting from the outside, and then it enters and it's like expanding from inside out. It's supporting and building up to allow consciousness to appear. That's when the connection between the mother and the baby, because at that moment it's not an embryo anymore, it's a baby. And the moment it becomes a baby, the soul is there. So it allows to expand consciousness and the beginning of the human experience as we know it. Because you get aware, like this little embryo gets hands and gets kicks the belly of the mom, etc. And hears sounds and everything. So that was a really beautiful aha moment from a general perspective. And I had many, visiting sacred sites, meeting spiritual guides. I recently found out my own spiritual guide. That was also a very strong and beautiful session. I found out it was, and it is, Ascended Master Solomon. So I'm still learning a lot of them. So I don't know all the archangels or ascended masters or sacred sites, whatever, but every time I find out new elements, and this information really helps me forward and understand why I am that I am, because Solomon stands for wisdom, stands for speaking out your truth, and it has a perfect connection with the work that I'm doing now. So speaking out my truth, even it's not always nice or not to be heard, but I feel empowered even more now to do so.
Exactly. That's why your awakening had come through the astral, through those meetings, through those encounters, because we are our own divine truth. We are sovereign being. We have that free will. You're talking earlier, and you're sharing the story of the soul being a guardian angel and had chosen the womb, had chosen the mom, is in the whole 9 months observing and witnessing this little being manifesting and unfolding. It is fascinating how we choose our destiny, our experience, our human experience in the soul realm. So this is what makes it so powerful and empowering, because we have chosen to be here, and embracing who we are is our greatest gift.
Exactly.
Hmm. Yes, that's so wonderful. So now, if someone would like to contact you for personal session, they will have to be ready with their questions, intentions, and then you will do the work for them, and you will just give them a kind of a report or kind of whatever you have found.
Exactly. That's how it works. And I usually do a
Exactly.
first intake, just very small. Also very beautiful. I did some readings for people passed on. So I did one for yeah, a mom who lost her son during like a general dentist checkup. He was really, yeah, really young, like 20 years old only. And the funny part is, without knowing, because I didn't know this lady, her son has her birthday was on the same day as mine, so the 21st of August. So it was mind blowing, and the message that came across from her side to the son and giving back, yeah, she cried in tears because the wording, the intonation, I had to say like, dear mommy, everything is okay, don't worry, I love you, etc. And she said literally to me like, Mike, this is what he always said. Karim always said this exact line when he was alive, like, mommy, don't worry, everything is fine and everything's good. I'm like, and also a dad from a lady who passed away. So during the COVID situation, you cannot say goodbye because of the restrictions in the hospitals and stuff. So she was really sad. She couldn't say goodbye. So all these little things that you can mean to help other people, yeah, that's why I'm doing it, because it's such a gift to give back and to see them, you know, connecting and feeling this is, yeah, that's priceless. That's really why, yeah, I feel grateful to be able to do this for people. Yeah.
All entrusted in divine service. We
Yes.
are here to just light up the way. And I am sure every time you go into the travel to find answer for somebody else, the message is not only for them, it is for you as well, I'm assuming.
Yes, I found out after I think 200 times that my personal touch is always in there and indirectly. And sometimes I also looked for answers for myself in my past lives and parallel lives, future events, because I'm human after all. So I also have my stuff, but it always come back with this personal touch. So it's like remembering, like, you know, there is something also for you to learn, not only to give back or to share, but also in your own development and your own growth. And that's, yeah, I'm really grateful for that. Yeah.
Mm. I am really, really grateful to have you in our space. Our time is nearing to end. It's just so fascinating how when the energy is flowing into that direction of expansion and of oneness, and we lose the track because we are in the quantum as one whole light. Mike Wood, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough for the incredible insight that you shared with us today, with the myth and the truth about astral traveling, the personal experience, the personal growth, and I'm sure we will connect further, and further, brother, on more projects. Humanity 2.0, it is ringing now in my
Yes.
consciousness. What is there to unfold for us as a human beings living our magnificent experience during these great times of the shift into the Aquarian age, into the light, the age of light. And beautiful viewers, thank you for watching and commenting and sharing your presence. You can still keep sharing love and light by sharing this program across your platform. The more we get informed, the more we learn, the more knowledge we acquire, the more we grow and expand. Thank you so much, MiKe. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
And everybody, you can find MiKe on Instagram and also on Facebook. You can connect with him to go further learning and exploring astral traveling.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Have a great day. Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.